Go get him, coach. Okay, I think we're about to get started here. Mr. Nedry is on his way following his uh, volunteer shift. We got Nedry, Mallory, and Boylan out there to start this game against the Woodbury Predators. Predators win that face-off back. They're working into the zone. Cam Cotreau, number 22 for the Woodbury Predators, is somebody that's familiar, at least to me. Wow, Woodbury gets an early opportunity there right in front of the net. Their coaches don't like number 7, Boylan's shoving and pushing in front of the net. I didn't think there was any call there. You might get a shot at the parents here because it looks like the AI is interested in that too. All right, now we've switched up our line. We've got Souter, Newcomb, and Cohen out there. They get a break down the near side boards. Souter works it over to Cohen. Cohen flings it. Goalie makes a nice save there. We get tangled up a little bit. Souter looks like she's a little bit hurt. Actually, her stick looks like it's broken. This is the second day in a row that Souter has run into strange stick issues. This time it results in a broken stick, so that's too bad. Here we go on the left side of our rink. There we go. Offensive zone face-off. Layden Craigness leans down to get it. Levy sweets her on the backside. It looks like the Ballards have entered the building. There we go. Big smile. Wave from Keith. That could be an ice. That is an icing. So we'll be right back in our offensive zone for a face-off. Getting it back into our zone. Here we go. We've got Craigness on the draw. Ballard on the near side hash. Sweetser is cheating down, and Levy out in the center. Witherspoon also out there on forward. Ballard, great job tying somebody up. Great job. Craigness plucks that out of that pile. Tries to work it over to Witherspoon. Woodbury gets in the way. Woodbury's got an incredibly short bench, folks. I noticed this the other day when I was... Oh, here comes Witherspoon. Witherspoon moves it across. Ooh, just barely lifted stick there in front of the goal. Almost had an opportunity there. Here comes Craigness again, working it out to Witherspoon. Witherspoon tries to chip it in. Woodbury goalie doesn't quite get that covered up. Out to Levy at the point. Levy over to Sweetser. Sweetser flings it towards the net. Bouncing puck. That's a goal. There we go. It was first a rainbow, then a couple of bounces, then right past the goalie. Tough spot for the goalie there. I'm not sure what you're supposed to do because that's a pretty unconventional shot on goal. We'll take it though. That's 1-0. 13:30 on the clock. We're keeping shifts short, something that I love to see. We've done a full set of everybody, and it's only been 90 seconds into this game. Here we go, Mal. Oh, here comes Woodbury trying to fire. Misses wide. Boylan along the far side. Boylan chips it out. No ice. Mallory gives chase. No icing. Mallory trying to create some room for herself. Unfortunately, Woodbury's there. Boylan comes up with that one. Boylan out to the point. Back down low. Bounces off the official. Unlucky bounce. Official, you're supposed to be out of the way. Number 11, Chapman. Back to clean that one up. Cotreau gives chase. Chapman. Up the sideboards to Boylan. Boylan sees Mal on the far side. Sees her. Ooh, unfortunately just lands in her skates. That's tough luck. Mal gets it low. Forwards go for a change. Helfrich is there to assist. Woodbury trying to create some trouble. We get a stick on that one. Souter. Neutral zone. Works it in. Souter. Dangles around multiple. Fires. Goalie makes a nice save. You know, our technology looks like it's a little wobbly. So we're going to do our best here not to move next to it. We got Souter, Cohen, Newcomb out there. Helfrich. Looks like Sweetser on the backside. Souter in the corner. Senses some space. Tries to get it out. Oh, no luck there. Here come the Predators. The 2-on-1. Fire long shot. Lex knocks that aside, no problem. Up to Newcomb. Newcomb's got Cohen. Cohen's got a little angle. Cohen in. All on her own. Nice. Dangles, moves around the goalie. Puts that one in the back of the net with a smooth, silky smooth backhand. I love seeing the cross-ice pass. Newcomb recognized that Cohen was available and had an angle, worked it over to her. Cohen turned on the jets, got into the zone, and then goalie was expecting a pass, and she dangled right past her, slipped it in backhand. Great job. Craigness, Witherspoon, Ballard, Helfrich, Sweetser on the backside. It's 2-0. Edina leads about 3 minutes into this contest. Witherspoon, near side, tries to chip it out, or far side, tries to chip it out. Sweetser collects that one, works it back to her D partner, Helfrich moves it over to Ballard. Ballard tries to get a breakout over to Witherspoon. Witherspoon works it up to Ballard. Again, these stretch passes are so critical to making some time and space out there. Craigness behind the net again, tries to load somebody up in front. No dice. Chapman just off the bench, fires. The Chapman family will be hosting a pasta dinner after this, just for the kids and the moms. Those of us that were at the parents' meeting might recall that I introduced myself as Nora's mom. At the time, he didn't realize that I was just trying to get an invite to the pasta party. Long shot from the point. Nothing there. Craigness picks that one up. Tries to load up Ballard. Ooh, just out of her reach. Chapman pinches in. They work it out of the zone. Looks like an icing, but Levy picks that one up. Senses a change happening. Works it up to Craigness. Craigness dangles around one. Makes room for herself. Incredible stick handling. So smooth. Now Mallory's out there. Mallory flings it at the net. Craigness goes for a change. Out comes Nedry. Witherspoon's going for a change too. Levy tries to chip it down into the zone. We're doing very fast changes here, guys, and I love it. Oop. Woodbury comes up with that. They got a 2-on-1, but there's that incredible back check that the Hornets are known for. Nobody gets the shot on goal. Oh! That's an uncommon situation. I don't think anybody's at fault there. The other team's trying to score goals too. It is 2-1 with 10:15 remaining in the first period. They got a fast break opportunity. Our forwards were back checking like crazy, and they just made a nice play. It's a good example of the other team's trying to score goals too. Nedry on the draw. Boylan chases it down. Back to our D. Work it up. Lou tries to work it out. Helfrich comes out with that one. Senses the lane. Decides to go with it. Helfrich into the zone. Gets a little hooked up. We're there down in the lower left-hand corner. I don't think there's going to be many penalties called today, folks. We got another 2-on-1, and here come the Predators. Nedry back, playing a little D. Good stick, keeping that out. Nedry fights her way through. Works it over to Mal. Mal along the near side boards. Tries to chip it out. Boylan's in the center of the ice. Chips it up to Nedry. Nedry's got her space all alone. Tries to chip it by. Great save by their goalie. It's a 2-1 game. Working up the sideboards. That's not going to be an icing, and Cohen activates to try to get in there. Number 10, Hannah Newcomb's following behind. Sauter's out there now, too. We have not had very many stoppages of play. Here's Sauter. Collects it off the boards. Backhand over to Levy. Levy fires. Ooh! A weird carom off a stick halfway to the goal. Sauter again works it back down low. Now, we resurfaced immediately before this game started, so we're going to be resurfacing after the second period, folks. Levy, down low. Sauter's covering the point for her. Levy retreats out of the zone. Great job, Sweetser, just knocking it back in calmly, smoothly. I love it. Levy along the near side boards. Picks that one up, works it back down low. Craigness now. Craigness, Witherspoon. And out comes Ballard to help out too. We've had very few stoppages, and I like that. Ballard literally just muscles a kid off the puck, no problem. Craigness tries to dangle, gets back to Ballard. Ballard trips herself up. Cragness just retreats out of the zone. She says, let's get organized here. Witherspoon. Cragness, both attacking. Excellent. They got possession. Ballard's down there to help too. Woodbury trying to clear. No luck there. Ballard down low. Ballard over to Witherspoon. Witherspoon dangles. Woodbury comes up with that one. Near side action. Chapman backing out of the zone. Chips that one back in. We got an offside call. For those who are studying the size of rosters, you may notice that the Woodbury roster is pretty limited. In a tournament where we're guaranteed at least 4 games and possibly 5, they've got a bench that consists of 4D and I think 7 forwards. I'm not sure if there's an injury, illness, or something, or if they just prefer to keep a short bench, but we'll take it. Here goes Boylan trying to dangle around a few people. Fires, just misses. A lot of action there on the way. On the way, and Nedry's there to help out. We've got a 2-on-1 on the way back. Everybody's hustling. It looks like the Chapmans have entered the arena as the parents of 3 hockey players this weekend. I imagine they're juggling a lot. Plus, they're hosting the pasta dinner that all the girls and moms are going to enjoy in a couple of hours. It's 2-1. Edina leads. Mal chips it up. Nedry gives a little chase. Looks like we could use a little organization here. Good back check by your Hornets. Out goes Newcomb. The rest of the forwards go for a change. Nedry and Boylan get a change going on. Good job. Lou works it down low. Newcomb trying to look for an opportunity to work this out. Helfrich works it back down. Woodbury comes out with that one. Here they go. They're on the attack. Through the neutral zone. Souter, literally clean play. Stick-on-stick action. Knocks the girl down, but that was as clean as possible. We get it to the red line. Chip it in. There goes Newcomb. Newcomb chips it back over to Souter. Souter picks it out of the corner. She's got Helfrich at the point. Souter drags. Keeps it in the zone. Brilliant job. Rode that blue line. So long as the puck stays on the blue line, it's still in. And I'll tell you what, Ella Sauter knows that because she had it right on top of the blue line and kept working it around. This is an icing on Woodbury Predators. We're going to get a little break in the action, and they're going to be an offensive zone face-off for your Hornets. It looks like we might be completing a forward change. So we've got Cragness, Witherspoon, Ballard out there, as well as Helfrich and Sweetser. Clock reads 5:38 remaining in the first period. The shots say 5-4. That doesn't feel accurate to me. Helfrich back on D. Helfrich, great job. Witherspoon senses an opportunity to chip it up. Pulls it out of that pile. It's an onside call. Viv, great stick. Keeping that thing in the right direction. Woo! Little gift to the Hornets. Oh, not quite there. Ballard down to Cragness in the corner. Cragness loaded up. Witherspoon there. We work it back down low. Our forwards try to go to work. Woodbury wins the race to that one. But Witherspoon's there to help out. Witherspoon to Cragness. Witherspoon, Cragness. Near side board. Levy tries to work it down low. Great job just chipping it in. Here we go. Witherspoon behind the net. Works it all the way out to the point. Sweetser fires to just the near side corner. Loads up. Ooh, that should have been a penalty. A lot of contact as all of Witherspoon's face was right towards the board. Probably should have been a penalty. But that's okay. These refs haven't been bad so far. Here we go. Ballard comes out of it. Ballard's got a little bit of space. She's got Levy sneaking in on the backside. Levy fires. Oh! Great save by the goalie. Great play, great save. We got a change of our forwards. Nedry, Mal, and Boylan are out there. Levy and Chapman on the backside. Lex Autumn is back in the goal. Taking a little breather. Out to Levy at the point. Levy works it back down low. Mal comes up with that one. Mal tries to work it over to Nedry. Nedry, Witherspoon, or Woodbury just barely came up with that. Little battle along the sideboards. Boylan comes out of the pile with that. Fires. Goalie blocks that one. Good job, Levy, trying to keep that one in. Woodbury just barely gets that out of the zone. Here they go. They're on the attack. They work it down low. They're trying to get into the zone. Chapman's back there to clean that thing up. Works it over to her partner, Levy. Levy up the sideboards to Mal. Mal sees Boylan on the far side. Boylan picks that one up. Dangles around one. Ooh! Could use a pass there. I like the shoot first mentality when you have an opportunity, but that one, I think Mal was in the slot ready to go. The 2-1 game here. Mal in the corner. Lou's got that in the corner. Comes out of there. Escapes. Looking for the breakout pass. Mal is there on the near side boards. Mal tries to chip it up. That one takes a weird carom off the boards. Woodbury comes up with that one. Mal chips it up. It could be an icing. I don't see an icing call coming. Boylan tries to come up with that one. Woodbury does instead. Long cross-ice pass. Their forward didn't realize it was coming. Helfrich is back to collect that one. Helfrich. Up to Souter. Souter. Great cross-ice pass. Newcomb. There we go. We got 2:27 left in the first period. Shots read 6-4. I think that they have stopped keeping track of our shots because we've had at least 6 that have not been recorded. All right. Newcomb, Souter, Cohen, Levy. Sweets are on the back. Levy. Up to Newcomb. Ooh, little opportunity almost there. As these kids are getting older and older and the game moves faster and faster, there's a real opportunity for these girls to occasionally play at a real next level. Working across. Ella makes a great pass across the rink. Cohen's down there fighting. Ella fires it. Ooh. That one goes flying in a weird direction. Here we are, battle in the corner, near side corner. Woodbury tries to get it out. Sweetser keeps that one in. Sweetser works it back down low. There's Cohen. Ooh, Cohen tried to load up somebody in front. Nobody home. Souter gives chase. Souter comes up with that puck. Works it out to Cohen. Cohen, somebody fire the puck. Let's get a shot here. Souter comes out of the corner with the puck again. Levy. Back down to Souter. Souter. He's got an opportunity. Fires. Woo! They've gotten a fair amount of traffic in front of our shots here, which is good for the Woodbury Predators, but not so good for the Hornets' attempts to score. Claire picks that one up. We're going to have a little regroup out here at the center. All of the little offsides there. That's all right. It looks like we've got the Craigness, Witherspoon, Ballard line jumping out, backed up by Chapman and Lou. The Woodbury Predators were in the middle of a change. We zipped it in a little bit offsides. Ballard fights through a little bit of interference there. Gets it into the zone. Craigness is down there. So is Witherspoon. Craigness tries to load up the front of the net. They got in the way of that one. Craigness maintains possession. Witherspoon in the corner. Witherspoon dangling around. Ballard, Craigness, both giving chase. Chapman's there close. We got about 35 seconds left in this period. Chapman's out at the point. That's about all I can see from here. Gets work back down low. Craigness behind the net. Tries to load up. Ballard. So close. Here comes Woodbury on a last-second dash. They've got about 10 seconds left. Somehow gets the puck through. Nothing there. Craigness picks that one up, chips it out. Excellent decision-making. There's only about 10 seconds left. Craigness, ever the gamer, decides, I'll just chip that one out and live to fight another day. That's the end of the first period. We've got a lot of enthusiasm from the Predator parents. I'm hoping that I'm hoping that we can knock down some of that enthusiasm here in the second period. Ordinarily, in one of these tournaments, you have the timekeeper who adds 1 minute to the clock in between periods, but apparently we're taking a longer break as long as Woodbury and the refs need here because there's nothing running on the clock. Coach Rast is on the ice describing what the game plan is going to be here for the team. And it looks like he's dispensing wisdom related to keeping your feet moving and playing as a team. Lots of passes and puck movement. We've also got the goalies comparing notes about the finer points of the game. I feel like you absolutely had no opportunity to save that one. It's not your fault. That's the right support from Hazel Weary to Lex Autumn. Once in a while, goals get scored. Looks like our Hornets are ready to go. The officials are ready to go, and the Woodbury Predators are still trying to extend the break. They've got a short bench out here, folks. It looks like we're going to start with the Mallory, Nedry, Boylan line. Lex remains in goal. We got kind of a packed house here tonight. There's a lot of folks around the back of the. Oh, here comes my daughter Charlotte Boylan making her entrance into the rink. I'm commentating on your dress as well. She looks great. This is the first game she's been to in a while. We also have Ellie Redden, who is back to Sweetser. Sweetser over to Helfrich. Quick zone entry. Boylan works around the outside. Looking for an opportunity. Chips it in. Oh, how did that not go in? It was right there in front of the net. After she fired it, there were a couple of opportunities for people to do to get a nice little chip in. The net was wide open. Woodbury Predators did a good job defending against that. Mallory in the corner. Woodbury Predator tries to work it past Boylan. Now Woodbury tries to get a breakout, but Mal's there. Oh, unfortunately, they just barely got a stick on that one. Sweetser back to Helfrich. Helfrich over to Boylan. Boylan looks like she's at the end of a battle there. He's looking a little tired as... Oh, maybe I'm wrong. Here we go. Go to the outside. Right off the goalie's face mask. Oh, is somebody going to get there? Mallory decides to thinks better of going to the bench. Good idea. Great idea. Great job, Cohen. Cohen absolutely hustled back. Cohen in all alone. That's a goal again. Cohen's got 2. That's terrific. That'll make it 3-1. Fantastic opportunity seized on by Cohen. The first thing that happened is she jumped on the ice. She had a little bit of energy, so she was able to do a very strong back check, grabbed the puck, realized that Woodbury was in the middle of a change, and hit the gas, went down, made a move around the goalie. I think very similar to the first goal that was scored. That makes it 3-1. Edina leads. All right, Sauer came up with that one. She's working out of the zone. She's got the Woodbury player turned around a little bit. Sauer enters the zone, looks, tries to feed it up. Woodbury goalie jumps on that one. Good job locking that down. As a public service announcement, tonight at 8 p.m. in the historic Braemar Arena, there will be 2 important games going on. One, the Edina Hornets Boys High School will be playing the Holy Family team. And second, Osseo Maple Grove 15UA will be playing against the Alexandria team. Long shot, knocked aside. Good job. Craigness is racing to get that one out. Ooh, just barely lost the handle on that. Otherwise, that was a signature Craigness breakaway opportunity. We're in the middle of the second period. 12:55 remains. Levy back to Sweetser. Or excuse me, to Chapman. Chapman chips it out of the zone. Levy jumps into the play. Levy working down the near side boards. Tries to get it in. Fires it to the middle. Almost there. Unfortunately, ends up on a Woodbury stick. Craigness. Craigness feels 4 people around her and decides to just chip it in. Smart move. Here comes Mal. Witherspoon. Mal. Ooh! Almost got that one in. Lou is activated. Should pretty download. Nedry jumps on the ice. Witherspoon goes for a change. Little body contact there. Oh, they just barely worked that thing out. Here comes Helfrich. Onside play. Over to Mal. Mal fires. Little high. Lou. Sees an opportunity. Ooh, they clear it. That one looks like it might be on net. Lex chips that one out. Helfrich has got a body on her. Hopefully that gets out. A trip. Looks like we got a Woodbury trip coming. You know, I don't know about that goal, but I'm just here to commentate. I don't officiate. That should be an offensive zone face-off for the Hornets. We're going to get something figured out here. Helfrich. Lou on the backside. Nedry, Boylan, Mal on the front side. They've got 2 minutes on the clock. Number 11 for Woodbury got called for tripping. The shots are now 11-5 in favor of us. There's 11 minutes and 30 seconds left in this second period. Lou walks in, senses a little trouble, works it down to Boylan. Boylan's looking for an outlet. Nice and patient. We got somebody cheating into the zone. Nope. Helfrich tries to work it over. Fires. Oh! That was literally on the doorstep again. This is the second time this line has had absolute doorstep opportunity. It just hasn't quite gone in. You know, those goals are going to come. All right, now we've got Souter, Cohen, Newcomb out there, backed up by Sweetser and Levy. Cohen along the sideboards. Sweetser fires, just misses near side. Here's the great thing about that. She took a shot, and she aimed for the near side. When she missed, it didn't turn into a breakout pass for them. It turned into an opportunity for us to get possession of the puck. Newcomb down in the corner. Over to Cohen. Cohen works it back to Newcomb. Newcomb thinks about firing it. Levy's there. Scores one. Beautiful. Levy cheated down. The puck just happened to roll over towards her. She came in and one-timed it. That's a goal. That'll make it 4-1. The Hornets are now leading with 10:37 left in the second period. Now, some of us looked up the rules. The rules are official. If we get a 5-goal lead, it is officially a running time situation. You don't need to wait till the third period. 5-goal lead, period. Any time in the game, you get a running time. We're working around. Here we go. Cohen's got another opportunity. There's nobody between her and the goal. Fire that thing, kid. Ooh, good job. She shot on the short side, trying to go for that upper right-hand corner. No luck there. Cohen. Out to Chapman. Chapman fires. That one gets knocked aside. Lou jumps on that one. Down to Sauter. Sauter just, probably a penalty not called. I don't think that was intentional. The kid definitely got her stick in the way of Sauter. Here we go. Newcomb enters the zone. Our forwards are in the midst of trying to do a change as we go. Craigness is now out there. And Ballard. Cragness dangling around the outside. He's looking for an opportunity to work it in. Works it back out to the point. Helfrich does a nice job moving around the Woodbury defender coming at her. We got lots of traffic down in the corner. Cragness has no trouble navigating the traffic. Woodbury comes out of the zone. Ballard gets possession of that. Red line. Looks to chip it forward to Cragness. Cragness picks somebody's pocket. Works it over to Witherspoon. Witherspoon tries to fire. Almost in there. Witherspoon working around the outside. Flips it back down low. Oh, here's an opportunity for the Predators. Oh, our D are so fast. Helfrich sees the lane. Says, forget this. I'm going to go score one myself. Let's see if she's got it. Tries short side again. Goalie knocks it aside. Witherspoon jumps on that. Now we're trying, working hard. Folks, this could easily be running time already, but it's not. We need a couple more goals here. And in terms of our standings, when you get to the when you get down to it, we want to make sure that we win the wild card spot if needed. Witherspoon dangles out to the point. Levy, our goal scorer from a minute ago, Sweetser chips it back down. Ooh, off of one of our skates. We keep it in. Ballard chips it down low. Cragness. Or excuse me, Nedry. Witherspoon. Mal. We're headed back into our zone. 7 minutes and 30 seconds left. They're looking for a penalty. No penalty called. Gets tied up in the skates. You got Levy chasing it out. An offside call here on the near side. This looks like a centerized face-off. Oh, nope. They're not going to do a centerized face-off. Right in front of the Woodbury bench, 7:26 left. Second period. Shots are now getting closer to accurately represented. It looks like a little foot race here. One of Nora's old orange line mates that she just put on her can back there. Both of them were pretty good at acting. Nedry, great job. Out to Chapman. Chapman fires. We try to come up with something there. 6:33 or 6:35 left. Mal does a great job holding on to that. Look at Nedry. Oof. That's a goal. Oh, no, that wasn't a goal. It looked a lot like a goal signal when the official moved his hand in a direction that pointed towards the goal. But I've only watched so much hockey. There must have been something else going on there. Sweetser chips it down to Souter. Souter tries to work it out to Cohen. Cohen's in front. Ooh, there's Newcomb too. Man, the Woodbury Predators are really counting on their goalie doing a lot of work tonight. Newcomb. Souter. Out to Cohen. Nice job. Little chip there. Sweetser out at the point. Collects. Fires. That one gets blocked halfway there. Woodbury comes up with it. They're coming out of the zone. Coming down on the near side boards. We interrupt their zone entry. Excellent job. Souter tries to hook up Cohen. Going zooming across. Five minutes and 42 seconds left. Newcomb chips that one in. Sweetser's back here. Neutral zone. Achieves the red line. Chips it down low. We're starting a forward set of changes. Now we got Ballard. Craigness and Witherspoon on the front side, and Levy with Chapman on the backside. Levy here with another opportunity. Just misses on that one. Witherspoon bounces it out to Levy. Levy at the point. Works it back down to Witherspoon. Witherspoon to Craigness. Craigness in the corner. Craigness working out. Craigness down to Levy. Levy tries to chip it out in front. Nice. Witherspoon. Works it out in front. Witherspoon in the corner again. Chapman out at the point. Chapman tries to work it in. Ends up on Craigness' stick. Craigness from her knees tries to score. Unfortunately, it didn't come up. It's 4-1. But the Woodbury faithful are still hooting and hollering. Good for them. Keeping the hope alive. Witherspoon. Far side. Tries to work in. Gets hooked up. Potential call there. No call, though. Another one-timer for Levy. Cheating into the zone. Craigness sends it out to her. Levy fires it upper left-hand corner. Okay, that makes it 5-1 with 4:10 left. Let's see if we can hit the running time button before we get to the third period here. Boylan, Nedry, Sleeslog out there. Helfrich on the far side. Nedry, Boylan fires, just misses left side. I think that got deflected halfway home. Mallory in front trying to fight through. Woodbury just throws that thing out of there. It's icing. The shots are now 20-5. We've tightened things up. They're not getting a lot of more shots. I think at one point it was 5-6, or maybe something like that. 3:36 left in the second period. Woodbury chips that one forward, trying to come up with something here. Helfrich. He's tangled up on her zone exit. Nedry's got that one. Nedry along the far side with Mal in tow. Works it out to Mal. Boylan fires that one in. Nedry to Mal. Mal generously chips it over to Boylan. Boylan has almost a wide open net. Fires that one in the upper right corner. That makes it a 5-goal differential, and that clock's going to continue running. Shots on goal, 21-5. 2 minutes and 45 seconds remain in the second period. Levy back. Over to Sweetser. Sweetser senses little room. Moves up to Nedry. Nedry enters the zone. Great job. She's working around, chips it towards the goal. Almost in there. Mal chips it at the goal again. A couple of opportunities there. Here we go on our back check. Woodbury gets it. You know, honestly, goalies, it's a tough spot when you haven't seen a lot of action, and then all of a sudden they come down and get a shot on you. I'm proud of our goalies for being able to keep their focus under those circumstances. Lex does a great job, and she gets a word of encouragement from Levy. Or if I know Kenzie, she's saying, hey, you see that one-timer? You got Levy and Sweetser on the backside. Cohen, Souter, Newcomb on the front side. There's 1 minute and 30 seconds left in this period. Then we'll have a resurface. Souter comes up with that one. Souter gaining speed, crosses the red line, dangles around one, hooks up Cohen, I think that goal they're going to count because I think that completes the hat trick for Cohen and makes it 7-1 with 1 minute and 10 seconds left in the second period. I wish that there was an ability to give like assists with an asterisk that explained like should count for a point and a half or something because Souter did a great job working down all the way at the outside and then feeding Cohen. Cohen made an amazing shot, but Souter deserves a lot of credit on that one. Lou up the sideboards. Cohen chips it in. I think that as the season goes on, the more opportunities these girls have to move the puck and play a system, the more opportunities they have to work together as a team, the more often they're going to end up winning close games. Cohen in the corner dangling, tries to work it out to the point. Lou works it back down to Cohen. Cohen dangles around one, works it back up to Lou. Lou thinks about it, fires. We get a stick on that. Probably a high stick. 17 seconds remain. 15 seconds remain. There goes Allison Prosser from the Minnetonka Skippers right through our camera. Cohen fires. Good decision since there was about three ticks left on the clock. Lou's out at the point. That'll end our coverage of the first and second period. Shots are 24-6. There's 15 minutes on the clock for a resurface, and then we will return. We will have running time, hopefully for the entirety of the third period. It's 7-1. The Edina Hornets lead. So far, Tessa Cohen with the hat trick, Mackenzie Levy with a pair of them, Nora Boylan with one, and at least one or two other ones came in. Here comes Coach Molly Myrie from prior years who coached in 10U.
Wow.
And now I'm going to go on mute.
Wow.
How are you?
I'm so good. How are you?
Okay, so let me see if I can unpause this. Okay, I think we're back now. I'm not as skilled at this as. Hold on. I think we're back now. I'm not as skilled at this as my friend Brad Helfrich, but here we go. We're started the third period, 15 minutes left. The Woodbury Predators have been giving us a good fight this afternoon. The Tonka Skippers are filtering in, as well as the Roseville Matamidi Marauders, to watch the game because I think they're the game after us. It's 3:50 in the afternoon. It is 15 minutes on the clock. The shots are 24-6, and the score is 7-1. In the house today, we have Molly Myrie, who was a 10UA coach for a number of the girls on the team, knows many of us. She was a Edina High School player for years. I think she was the captain towards the end of her career. She went on to play at St. Ben's, and then after graduating from St. Ben's, joined Edina Hockey again to be a coach for 10U girls, which is really remarkable. Then after that, Molly was working both for coaching and working for the Minnesota Wild. And when that concluded, she moved out to LA, where she works for the Los Angeles Kings. So when Molly's back in town, she makes an effort to come out and watch the girls that she used to coach. It's really, really heartwarming and a good example of what Edina hockey is all about. So I checked with her, and yes, in fact, she had Coach Rass, and yes, in fact, she had Coach Horan. She claimed neither of them would remember her. So modesty is also a virtue, and she's got it. All right, we're starting out with the Mallory Nedry Boylan line, backed up by the 2-goal scorer, 2 one-timers, Mackenzie Levy, and Claire Sweetser. Here we go. 15 minutes on the clock. We'll be running time this entire period unless they happen to score a couple of goals. Here we go. Nedry in the slot. Tries to work it out. Woodbury comes up with that one. There's Kenzie working around. Quick shot on goal. 17 seconds in here. We've got to change. We throw out a new set of forwards. I think so. Okay, done. The clock was running, so I think. I gave a heartwarming speech about Edina hockey. Here we go. Sauter from behind the net. Speed. Fresh ice equals speed. Look at her skating by virtually everybody. Hopefully the AI can keep up. Cohen tries to chip that one towards the net. Oh, here comes back the Predators. Sauter says, "You're not coming out of the zone on my watch." Cohen on the near side boards. Cohen chips it down to Newcomb. Newcomb tries to get the handle. Woodbury creates some trouble for her. Sauter along the sideboards. Sauter tries to keep that one in. Sauter works it over. She's got a little angle. Ooh, almost had a step. Sauter, lower corner. We're completing a defensive change. She throws it back in. Cohen's there. That one gets chipped around. Chapman down to Cohen. Craigness is now on the ice. Cohen sees her cheating in the back door. Ooh, almost connects with her. We're in the process of completing a change of our forwards here. Witherspoon, Ballard, and Craigness are now out there. Chapman backs out of our zone. Craigness comes up with that one. Craigness working across the center ice, right in front of our camera. There's Grandma Boylan making her way in. A little offsides call. I think that was a little bit of a chintzy call. Mostly because I was not watching. All right. Craigness. Witherspoon. Ballard. Chapman. Lou's got it. Works it up to Witherspoon. Ballard in the corner. Ballard tries to chip it out to the D. Woodbury comes up with that one. Woodbury trying to work it forward. Chapman and Ballard deciding who's going to control the puck. Woodbury fires. Lex gloves that, then knocks it aside. Very calm back there. Chapman tries to load it up. Ballard creates some trouble for them. Tries to chip it forward. Woodbury just barely keeps that one in the zone. Over the center. We're going to stick on that. No clean shot, we say. That one gets a stick on it. Nedry and Mal. Witherspoon goes for a change as well. Out to our point. Sweetser tries to work it back down to Mal. Mal's got a little bit of traffic to deal with. Mal works it over to Helfrich. Helfrich fires right into a shin pad. Mallory along the sideboards. Mallory's working hard this shift. That's an icing. That's 11 minutes and 35 seconds left. So far in this game, there's been no music, but you can hear the music coming, bumping out of one of the locker rooms next to us. I think that's the Minnetonka Skippers. Looks like the officials are all set here. Nedry on the draw. Nedry over to Mal. Mal tries to win that one back. Boylan wins that one. Woodbury gets a stick on that. That should be another icing. Another icing. Good. It's the right call. You might even be able to hear the thumping on the stream. I'm not sure. Nedry on the draw. Boylan on the far side. Mal in the middle. Helfrich is cheating down. Everybody's getting arranged here. Back out to Sweetser. Sweetser, long shot. Boylan picks up that rebound. Mallory, back to Boylan. Boylan in the corner, works it out to the point. Sweetser, back down to Boylan. Boylan cleans that one up. Out to Helfrich. Helfrich tries to work it back down. Into Boylan's stick. Boylan tries to walk it. Pretty close there. Mallory again. Back down behind. Loads it up. Ooh! That was an opportunity. Beautiful, beautiful pass by Mallory. There we go, Mallory in the corner again. Working it out to Helfrich. Helfrich works it back down to Mallory. Gets a little shoot up there. Nothing to see here. No penalties have been called so far. Let's not get any now. Mallory digs that one out of the pile again. Mallory out to the point. Sweetser works it back down to Mallory. Nedry goes for a change. It's out to Sweetser. Sweetser fires. That one almost gets tipped in front. There's a battle happening for the puck. Mallory, near side boards. Mallory zings it out to the center. Sauber was right there. Goalie got a glove on that one. It was a good shift. We had 9 minutes and 15 seconds left. Running time, it's 7-1. 26 to 7 shots. There goes our 15 UA white coach, Lisa Brostoon, trotting in front of our camera here. All right, the Hornets don't win that face-off. Here we go back. All right, so folks, in terms of tiebreakers, let's talk about the tournament rules for a minute. You can get points for a win, you can get points for a tie, you get no points for a loss. So far, we've gotten 3 points because we have 1 tie and we have 1 win. 2 points for the win, 1 for the tie. The second is, so if we win this game, that's great because we'll end up with 5 points. It's very likely, in my view, that Anoka Blaine wins their next game. And when they do win that game, they will also have 5 points. We tied them. So the head-to-head competition means that we're tied on that. The next tiebreaker is goal differential. Ooh, that was probably a decent offsides call. It was a pretty play, but it was pretty much offsides. She was a couple of steps ahead. Nobody's at fault there. That was just a bang-bang play. Back to the tiebreaker issues. So it could come down to goal differential, and you get credit for 5. We won by 13 this morning, but you only get credit for 5. So that means that win this morning counts as a +5 in our goal differential. Plus, we keep track of, zip that one across. The next thing you keep track of is goals against. And right now, the Edina Hornets have given up only 2 goals. And so that could be important if we can see somebody score some goals against Anoka Blaine. or Rogers Lane or whatever they're called. So we'll see there. And then finally, there's penalty minutes. The least penalty minutes gets to advance. And so far, the Edina Hornets have done a pretty good job of keeping themselves out of the penalty box. So fingers crossed, that's not a complete analysis, but those are the sorts of things we're going to be looking for. Souter, out of the corner, sends to the little space, comes up this near side boards, chips it in. Newcomb and Souter are both going for a change. Witherspoon's already jumped out there. Lou, Helfrich on the backside. Lou intercepts that lengthy breakout pass. Woodbury tries to create some trouble for her. No problem. Witherspoon comes up with that one. Works it back down to Craigness. Craigness, Witherspoon. The official is saying, how do I get out of harm's way? Witherspoon in the corner. Witherspoon, Craigness. Craigness off the back of the net, trying to chip it to herself. Over to Witherspoon. Witherspoon. Woodbury got a stick on that. Here they come down the ice. Witherspoon again. Chips it out. Keeps a hold of that one. Yep, that's a clean zone entry. Chips it over to the center of the net. Nothing happening there. You got Ballard giving chase. It's out to Helfrich at the point. Helfrich, long shot. Good job, goalie. That makes it 28-7 in terms of shots, 7-1 in terms of score. 5 minutes and about 40 seconds left on the clock. Looks like our D are changing out. You got Levy and Sweetser jumping out. We're going to stick with the same forward line. Craigness, Witherspoon, and Helfrich. Excuse me.
that like track it then?
Yeah, it's not. It's actually not mine. It's this guy's. I used to have an old version of it that
Yeah.
wasn't as good. This one's pretty good.
Nice.
Oh.
Set me up for those rolls.
And then the little microphone.